says, we do the work, you do the pleasure.
Hi there.
Terry Gilliam's Brazil might divide the opinion of viewers,
I want to talk to you about ducts.
but just why is it called Brazil?
Do your ducts seem old-fashioned, out of date? Central Services' new duct designs are now available in hundreds of different colours to suit your individual taste. Hurry now, while stocks
Have you ever
last, your
felt
nearest
alienated from
Central
everyone
Services
around you?
shop.
Ever felt like the system simply does not cater for your own personal growth and developmental needs? To me at least, this is the theme of Terry Gilliam's Brazil. It's a longing, not for any one particular thing, but instead just a dreamy longing, a non-specific belief that somewhere, somehow, in some ways, life is not like this or this. The theme song itself is one of those wispy, dreamy tunes that sticks in the mind of an individual who is already lost in a world where everything and everyone else is seemingly struggling hard to move in a direction that appears to be meaningless.
Here we are, your very own number on your very own door. And behind that door, your very own office. Congratulations.
For those who don't know the tune in question, as far as I can see and pronounce, it's called Aquilera do Brasil by Ari Barroso. And it goes like this. Brazil, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la. La 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 la, Brazil. This is the main chorus, at least. Some versions of lyrics.
You?
The English translation of the original Portuguese lyrics are not the same as any English language version of the song that I've heard. This is what I call a transportation tune for the mind, and I defy anyone not to be swept away, at least for an instant, to another ephemeral realm, where Tweety birds hum this daydream theme all day long.
Do you remember Alison?
Evening?
Alison. Sam Larry, old friend. Alison, yeah. Remember my wife? Alison.
Yes, of course. Barbara, isn't it? How are you?
Barbara's very well, thank you, sir. Very well indeed. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
Good. Oh, no, of course. Of course. Come on, Alison. Barbara.
In the book, The Battle of Brazil, Gilliam tells us as much himself when he explains his inspiration for the title. Port Talbot in Wales, he says, is a steel town where everything is covered with grey iron ore dust. Even the beach is completely littered with dust. It's just black. The sun was setting and it was quite beautiful. The contrast was extraordinary. I had this image of a guy sitting there on this dingy beach with a portable radio, tuning in these strange Latin escapist songs like Brazil. The music transported him somehow and made his world less grey. So there you have it, from the horse's mouth. Case proven, it's all about the song Brazil, not the country. Okay, pack 'em up, let's go home. But wait, there's more.
You're a very good little girl. What are you doing here?
Waiting for my daddy.
He will be pleased when he gets home.
The original motion picture soundtrack was composed and arranged by Michael Kamen, who worked closely with Terry Gilliam on the score. For anyone, like myself, who bought this soundtrack, it will not come as any surprise to point out that the main chorus tune itself, as sung beautifully earlier, does not actually feature in the movie in any significant manner.
Excuse me!
Jack.
Apart from in the final track, Bachianas Brazil Samba. Each of the other tracks is a build-up of one sort or another to this anthemic chorus. Each one sucks you in and pulls you effortlessly along towards the distant, dreamy shores of the land known as Brazil. La 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 la. But just as the listener is about to burst forth into this chorus and land, the song ends. Each and every time we are abruptly snapped away from this joyous outburst by a deafening silence that marks our return to the drab and mundane existence that envelops our own daily lives. The first time we have this build-up is during this scene. In fact, the whole scene is one long build-up to what should be a burst forth of the main chorus, but, as happens again and again throughout the movie, it comes to an abrupt end. And yet, we find ourselves dreaming, now more than ever, of a land, of a place, of an existence known only as Brazil. La 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 la. La 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 la. There are a few tracks that feature far-off echoey renditions of this refrain, but nothing that permits the listener to meaningfully grab a hold of and fly away with. Only during this repeated dream sequence is the music and character free to explore the central musical theme, albeit in a far-off, dreamy kind of way. Just past the halfway mark on the song track, we are permitted a nice conga rendition of the main song, entitled Brazil Jeff Moldar, which does indeed feature the full tune, well, most of it anyway. This is a nice reward for the viewer-listener for making it this far, and the promise of more to come, but still suggests a system-structured serving that is not quite the unadulterated abandonment we are subconsciously expecting. In this version of the song, there are rules, conga rules, and structures to conform to. Yet Sam enjoys his Brazil conga from the safety of his little bubble car, off in his own little bubble world. This too is briefly interrupted with news of terrorism, before Sam retunes to his daydream. After all, who wants to be dragged down by bad news when we can be enjoying a nice, positive, peaceful, upbeat moment, free of the harsh realities of life, until it is finally slammed to a halt as the bubble is resealed, now with Sam on the outside. Unfortunately, such moments cannot last, and we are snapped back to the unceasing dreary horror of the existence called reality.
Hello. I wonder if you could tell me where that...
That is somehow even more unreal than we can possibly imagine. Look at this poster, one of many from this film. It really wouldn't look too out of place in most Western countries these days. Never mind more decimated, war-torn, far-off worlds. Is the fear of those worlds worse than the reality we now have in this one, where innocent children grow up playing out the horror they see all around them every day, accepting it as the price we pay for what is yet called living, freedom? Originally, remember, this movie was a comedy. Such cutaway scenes were viewed as outrageously funny, don't you know? It is only during the final credits that we are allowed bask in the land of Brazil, the music. The final rendition, Bachianas Brazil Samba, is a Mardi Gras bells, squeaks and whistles affair that to my ears is also somehow disappointingly subdued, perhaps reflecting the melancholy aspect of the main character's predicament and, by extension, our own. To me, Brazil, the movie, features an upbeat ending of sorts, with regards to the main character at least, and I'm not speaking here of the US Love Conquers All version, but it's an ending that is not particularly flattering of the society within the movie, nor, by extension, of our own. Sam is finally happy.
Understand the what?
Paperwork. Couldn't stand the paperwork.
Listen,
This whole system of yours could be on fire, and I couldn't even turn on a kitchen tap without filling out a 27B/6. Bloody paperwork.
This is why the movie is called Brazil.
Have you got a 27B/6? 27B/6.
It's a longing by the main character to live in that other realm,
To be under any false impressions.
It's all right. I don't like you either.
where life is not a scramble and a struggle,
Damn it, Lowry! That convoy of personnel carriers is still not accounted for. I thought I told you to deal with it. And what the hell is this mess?
amid corruption and
An empty
grime,
desk is an efficient
where
desk.
people don't slavishly live in a non-thinking, tunnel-vision existence that poo-poos any suggestion of another life, free of bureaucracy and paperwork and ducts, where our tune is never broken and we can run free with little furry bunnies in a perfect Teletubby la-la land. Brazil. Now he is free in Brazil. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Brazil, because the
Thank you
version
very
of
much.
Brazil that then
Please like and
took over
subscribe.
from, this very beautiful lilting guitar solo was Brazil by Jeff Muldaur, and it's the one that's used when Jonathan is driving along in his little Messerschmitt, and it's a very silly version of Brazil with burping and lots of funny noises in it, but it was one that always made me laugh.
I went to discuss this great history of the making of the country Brazil, only to find out that it was about that song. And when Gilliam said, no, it's about the song, it's not a history of Brazil, it has nothing to do with Brazil, it's the song Brazil. I went, you mean dum bam 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 bam, the bar mitzvah tune, I think is what I called it. And he said, yeah. And I actually tried to convince him to use a better piece of music. I said, you don't want to base an entire film on that song. Have you shot it yet? No. And we spoke about it for a long time and had funny conversations. You know, he would say, what do you think? Do you think music can be funny? I remember saying, I guess music is funny. He said, well, I need it bittersweet. And I said, well, I'm good at bittersweet. I do bittersweet very well. And that was about it for a little while. And then he called me in to view a cut of Brazil. I think it was about 6 hours long when I first saw it. And it was the most incredible thing I'd ever seen. I realized I was in good company. I was in the presence of a master. And this film was about something. And I was going to say yes to whatever it was he wanted me to do, including using the song, the tacky bar mitzvah song, which I eventually fell in love with to the extent that I felt that I'd written it.
You okay?
Tuttle!